Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Today we find ourselves inside the Chevrolet Corvette C2. I would really like to be able to use the C3 for this race, but it wasn't actually developed till after the 1967 race. So the C2 is the one we're left with as a representative from the Corvette brigade to take part in the race. I became familiar with this kind of car, or this model of car, from a couple of YouTube channels where they pulled restorations. And as far as I knew it, some of these cars were actually converted to soft tops by having a converted roof put on, a convertible roof, a convertible hardtop. And part of those restorations was seeing how they remade and redid that glass in the back windows. Extremely difficult to remanufacture and manufacture when this car was previously built because of the curvature. However, getting back to the process, notice the mileage on the clock there on this car was 000. However, let's go and take a look at the setup. So this car comes in at 687.28 pp with racing hard tyres. On the softs, on the mediums or the softs, the car just doesn't have the ability to put in more than 2 laps. So we've gone for the hard tyres to start the race, and then we'll use the mediums to close out, depending on the rain, of course. This car has 849 horsepower from its small block 327. Fully customizable suspension with nothing changed. Fully customizable diff with 555. Downforce set to 29 and 200. It does have a front lip, no side skirts, highest level rear end, and it has a high wing with 20 end plates. So the downforce is tuned to 29 on the front, 200 on the rear. ECU customizable is set to 100 with no adjustments. Transmission is extended as a fully customizable manual to 310. It has a racing intercooler with a high-end torque supercharger with racing silencer cleaner and manifold. It has the racing brake system and a brake controller, racing clutch and flywheel, carbon prop shaft, every available upgrade installed, including increased body rigidity, but no body reductions. Let's get to the track. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the World Touring Car 700 at Le Mans. We're going to do 30 minutes of a daily race. Assists will be traction control 1, default ABS. We'll have counter steer on strong and active stability management on. Can't say that. Controller settings, controller steering sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Those last settings are personal to me. The reason we use the assist is because this is grinding. It's not because I can't race the car without them. This is about expanding the game to more people than just the elite, those that can drive these cars. People get so frustrated with this game because they drive for 5 minutes, crash off, don't earn the money. This is the easiest way to do it, folks. You're not here setting lap records. If you were grinding, it's because you want to complete the game. You're in it for the long stay. You want it easy. You don't want to be able to push yourself or make a mistake. You want to be able to complete the game. So let's get on with the race. Here we go then. First thing to do, fuel map to 6. Critical point of this race is to get this car to the last 3 laps. We really need to do 3 laps before the rain comes. We want to only do a 2-stop, and we want to make sure that we're not stopping unnecessarily for tyres. So we can get 3 laps in, all well and good. Now this race has been proving to be a little bit of a problem for me, purely because I've had some camera issues. The cameras didn't work on the one race that I won it on, and since I've turned the cameras back on, as you can see, the camera works as I look across my monitor to make sure it does. I haven't been able to win it because I keep doing stupid things like crashing or looking away, or the phone rings or something. So 5 wide, 200 mile an hour. 200 mile an hour capable car, and it is capable, even though I know absolutely nothing about this C2 platform. And I wasn't going to go on Google and try and tell you I know all sorts of stuff about it, because I don't know anything about it. I would really have liked to have used the C3 model, because I could actually have some knowledge about that. However, the C3 didn't appear until 1969, 2 years after this car came to the fore, or 2 years after the race, actually, the 67 race. So whether this was actually a race car used at this event, I've no idea, but I'm just trying to flesh out some facts for the race. Now ideally we're in 7th place here, but fuel is looking a little bit short. So with that being the case, we're just going to start to lift and coast. I know we can get into 4th place before the end of this lap, but we're going to struggle on fuel if we push. So short shifting is key, and then we just have to watch the rain. Once we get to an assured point where we know we've got the fuel, we can switch over to the rain map and just wait for that rain to come in, because it's always going to come. Even though I had one race yesterday which I won, absolutely zero rain. It didn't rain, or for any rain it did rain, it wasn't significant enough to even make you think about changing tyres. We've had a little do. We've also had a little experiment with trying to run the low torque supercharger, just to try and reduce some of the kick at the back end of this car. What you'll notice as you get to the high end of the rev range in 2nd and 3rd is the back end will break free. Oh, and we've also had that. We've had a lot of slamming from the AI cars. They've been doing a lot of body checking. And there's 4th place, you see. Just wish we're coming to the end of lap 1. Trying to manage the fuel. There it is. 2.1 on the fuel gauge. We want that to be 2.0 as we run through the line. So 5.9 seconds behind 1st place. All 3 cars ahead of us are there. Now, it was just here last time round on the 3rd lap that I lost it, and that's why. See the back end of the car step out in 4th gear? That's how much power this car has got. It is insane for what it is. 1.9 laps of fuel, we're good. The tyres these are the hard tyres. They're already taking quite a beating after just 1 lap. Now we've got the fuel, so let's drop to the rain map. There we go. Nothing incoming at this moment in time. 200 mile an hour potential. And we're going to hit the brakes just to bring it in. The AI really only do about 170. So we're a bit OP at 200. And the rain comes in from the right hand side, the eastern seaboard. There it is. In France there's no eastern sea. It's just Germany and Switzerland and Poland and Czechoslovakia and Russia. Don't know where we're going with this, however. Couple of points to note. As you get near to the end of this race, be careful, watch the fuel. If you turn that fuel map up, it will evaporate the fuel. Let's see where we are against the 1.5. We need to be 1.5 at the bottom end here. We're just going to lift and coast as Miss McEwen takes the lead. Careful, we're going to get a dunk from Mr. Portilla. That rain cloud is not progressing. It's sort of hanging about on the right hand side as we short shift up to pass Mr. Blazan. Miss McEwen, she's going to move to the apex. We'll run a wide line and make the pass. We'll lift off at the end of these trees. We've still got to be conserving fuel. We've still got to be aware of what's in the tank. We've got another lap to go at the end of here. I thought I was going to end up, and I did end up in the wall then, but I thought I was going to end up in the wall sideways. The back end of the car choosing to tweak. Well, that rain's teasing us, isn't it? That's sat out there waiting for us to go past on the third lap, and it's going to come charging in an absolutely downpour. We're not going to the pits. We're going to take the third lap on. And we're going to end up with very little fuel and probably very little left tyre. Let's just manage it. Miss McEwen and Mr. Blazan go to the pits. Portilla comes on through. We're just going to manage this race. It's greying over. We know it's coming. Oh, it just didn't want to stop. And again, exactly the same point in the race where the tyre just wants to give way. We're just going to have to concede that one. At this point in the race, the tyres just said, no, had enough. But as we hold the fastest lap of the race, and we know we can do this quite comfortably, we've got the fuel, we're just going to manage our way back to the pits to change tyres. This has actually been the hardest race I've ever done with this car, being so frustrating. It's not hard as in a difficult race, you can win it. It's just been so frustrating with so many takes, and if I get to put the outtakes in, the video will double. Short shifting in this car is critical. Rain really is holding off. We're 10 minutes into the race now. We haven't had the rain yet, but it looks like it's going to come. I honestly couldn't tell you how hard it's going to come because there's a gap in the rain just there. Got to be careful running those curves here. They can become so volatile, or you can throw a shortcut flag. You can get a penalty there for cutting the track perimeter. Gonna have to call that corner up at the top end of the track, Corvette corner, because it's where it spits me off. Look how much that rain cloud is changing. As it gets towards us, it's disappearing. Now what makes this even worse is I was pretty much assured when we got to this point that we'd have a clear understanding of what tyres to take. Now I still have no idea. At this moment in time, there's no rain clouds above us. I'm 100% sure that the tyre to use, not the cloud, the tyre to use is still the race tyre. All evidence says that there's not a lot of rain. The clouds are hanging about. We've got enough fuel to get us home. But it tells us we're going to miss that cloud. I'm going to take race tyres. We're going to take the mediums. We're going to aim for a two-stopper here. We're going to take mediums and go for 2 laps. We're going to refuel. We're going to refuel all the way, and if we need to, we're going to turn up the fuel map. The reason we're taking all the fuel is when we turn that fuel map up, this fuel will just evaporate. It will go. You won't even be looking at the fuel gauge thinking, I've got plenty here, I took 3 laps. It'll be gone. You won't have none. Tyres go on. We'll also come out of here and there will be an absolute shed load of rain, won't there? Rear fuel filling point, and away we go. So we've dropped down to 6th place. Nothing we can't handle. Do we want to know how fast this car will go down the straight on fuel map 1? Oh, it's going to be impressive. There's Corvette corner. There's my tyre marks from where we slid and then wheels spun away. So Miss McEwen's picked up the lead with Blazan just on her coattails. She's got a little bit of lead over him, I'd say 3 or 4 seconds. There currently is no real rain to worry about. Need to brake on the 200, 300. Very hazy weather. It feels quite overcast. It feels quite humid. That's just the UK today. We hold the fastest lap of the race at 4:09.278. The next opportunity to get to beat that is the final lap of the race. So as it stands, it looks like we're pretty good for that being the fastest lap, because these guys run a 2:15, 2:14 fastest lap. We are into 2nd place. Now, the real fact of the matter is Miss McEwen may dive into the pits and take... She might take tyres at the end of this lap. She stops at the end of lap 2. We've just gone past the 15-minute mark of the race. So over halfway through now as we just slide past. This is a really quick car for its age and what it is. Not that hard to drive, just that little bit of torque issue in second and third gear and fourth, where the back end wants to slide away from you, but it is absolutely insane that this car is just this quick. It is a sports car as opposed to a race car. Yeah, Miss McEwen went to the pits there. And we've got rain coming in from the bottom right hand corner. And it looks like that contains one hell of a lot of rain as it gets really blue and bright here. Question, is that rain going to hit? And if it is going to hit, how long is it going to hit for? Oh, there's heavy rain in there as well. We're now 18 seconds in the lead, as most of these racers take their second stop. We're now going to charge for the end of this lap to get in and get some wet tyres on by the looks of it. It's only a small blanket of rain, but it's going to be heavy for what it is. We're just down to the 10-minute mark, and that's going to hit just as we arrive at the pit, so we've got to make the right choice on what we're going to use. It's going to be incredible if that rain absolutely hits and blows this plate apart. It's going to destroy this race. It's going to blow it wide open. That amount of rain in this amount of time is going to mean full wet tyres. It looks like a proper storm coming in. At least the yellow's disappeared. It's dumping rainwater all over the areas around the track. And we've just got to get back to the pits and take the right tyre. Which, at the speed it's coming in, we could genuinely make it. 24 seconds in the lead. I think we're going to lose the lead once we pit, but inters or heavies? I think heavies have got a greater chance of getting us 2 laps. Inters will burn away quickly on the second lap. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's about to hit. That heavy stuff's just going to the north. I think we're about to be in a world of inters. Two seconds quicker at this point. Here it comes, and it's going to come hard. I think inters will do it based on where we are. Inters or race tyres? Inters or race tyres? Inters or race... I'm taking the race tyres. Sod it. Sod it, sod it, sod it. If anything, it's going to be wet, but it's going to dry up much, much more quicker. And I can have 3 or 4 spins at 5 to 6 seconds a spin. Oh, here it comes. Have I made the wrong choice? We're putting the race tyres on. It's the full decision. Mr. Yamanaka's come in. Everybody else is going past though on their race tyres. They're not stopping either, so it's the right call. Well, what we do know is the AI make wrong decisions all the time, don't we? That rain's gone past. It is treacherously wet, but everybody's slow. The track is going to dry out. There's the dry line forming already. Oh, and nobody's raced round here. Past Corvette corner. Kawakami went for inters. Oh, we've just straight off the curb. And it's back to beautiful sunshine with a wet track. There's Sugawara trying to make the move. We've got the top speed over these cars. It's going to be such a close race. We missed the corner. Got to get the penalty. 6 seconds. Shockingly disgusting. We had no choice to put the foot on the brake. There was just nothing there. Couldn't turn in. We're getting closed in on by the AI. They are barreling down the straight behind us. If we'd have taken intermediates, we'd have had to have pitted. It looks like we're going to lose the lead for the pit stop penalty, for the penalty we've received at 6 seconds. Seven seconds, and here we go, the full countdown from 6 seconds. That track looks incredibly wet in front of us. But it is drying up now. The race tyre is very quickly becoming the preferred tyre. Bumping that throttle to try and find the limit. Now the start-finish straight is going to be incredibly wet. There's going to be very little of a dry line going through there. Actually looks to be standing water on the track. Mr. Sugawara's gone to the pits. We don't need to. There's no more rain coming. We've got 2.3 laps of fuel. The dry line is there. Here we go, final lap of the race. We're not going to open it up. It's still too wet really out of the perimeters, and if I brake past the braking point, I'll end up with another 6-second penalty, and we don't want that, do we? .22 seconds in the lead, which is quite respectable considering, but these guys did have to make that final stop. The tyres and fuel. Highly probable they just took fuel if they were running hards. Well, as we're closing in on the final lap of the race, to close this out, what's my opinion of this car? Absolutely phenomenal. Would I grind it? Absolutely not. Even though it's capable, it just has that ability to do what the AC Cobra does. Spit you off, spin you out, leave you in the dust. It burns fuel for fun. It ruins tyres. And its drivability in the weather is really quite good. It's quite handleable. You just have to manage it. On race tyres in the wet, it just won't break. But you can see as we dive into that portion of the track there, there's not a lot of trust. Top end of second and third gear, really have to be quite careful on acceleration. But other than that, it's a great car. But not in my grinding routine, I don't think. We've had far too many hours running this car to the end. Although it has delivered some buck to the bank account, it's one of those that we need to complete this race every 30 minutes to be able to get on with the process of completing the game, buying every car and enjoying the game. And as we come to the end, we're 30 seconds ahead of the car behind. We've got 1.3 laps of fuel. We could have turned it up, we could have gone faster. We're going to be approximately 1.5 minutes over the target of 30 minutes. And that's brought about purely because of the unpredictability of rain. And here we go, crosses the line. another option for you to choose for the grinding. And it looks a stunning car. Shame about that rear wing. Probably don't need that downforce, but it's just there to give us that stability, which it absolutely needs. There we are, 31 minutes 29. We did get the fastest lap. We didn't get anywhere near on the final lap, but we're still going slowly because of the water. A 4:09.278. And it delivers the credits as required as we shoot past 25 million. And there she is. An absolute stunning choice. It's a beautiful looking car. The red interior is just second to none. But what do you want to do? Do you want to take it to the track? Do you want to grind it? Are you going to try it out? I don't really see any other reason why you're going to try this car. But with that, folks, it's up to you. We'll leave it till you decide what you want to do with your grind and the way you go. So thank you very much, folks. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Am I glad to see the back of this one. This has took hours. There we go. Was at the end of this car's development process, and they were well into developing the 69 car, which I would love to bring to this race because, I say, it's the one I feel more accustomed to, but it didn't exist in 67, so if we're going to bring it here, it would be under some sort of pre-production fantasy sort of position, and I think we're going to have enough cars without that. So over 200 mile an hour and on the brakes. And talking of the C7, the old, I called it a Camaro, didn't I? And I have to block. It's the Corvette. Oh, there's me with my brain fraudulent slipping. That's not good, is it? Camaro, it's Corvette. I will myself in the crowd as we go into first place. I've got to restart that Mercedes did pull out of this championship due to an accident where a magnesium car crashed off, killed the driver, and also killed 80 members of the crowd because the first cryo crews on site put the fire. Oh my word! Oh, not good. We're back on it though. That rear left is, yeah, it's showing wear. We've got front and rear damage, and we can't accelerate. For whatever reason, the car is not accelerating. Second gear, it's got. We're out of fuel. How? How are we out of fuel? It's because of that 250 mile an hour, isn't it? Oh, that's absolutely shocking. Are we going to be able to make it? 32 seconds. We're not going to make it, folks. This is a redo. Oh, absolutely shocking. I'm going to keep going as far as we can go. We're not going to make it. 20 seconds. No. We're losing time. It's hand over fist. Mr. Kevlam is going to come through and win this race. We're done. No. And the C3 is the one that sticks out to me. We've been absolutely effed by Mr. Hizal. Enjoyed. You either killed yourself on a spaceship or you killed yourself in a Corvette. We've been again. Before we take our trip to Europe and an exploration of Ferrari, not Ferrari, Porsche and Mercedes. Ferrari comes later. Here we go then, through the start-finish line to finish what has been quite a really difficult race. And that looked like that went purple as we crossed the line. What a stunning beast that is. Primarliy Corvette C2. This car is prominent in the game as really, no, side skirts, no rear. Apologies, it has no side skirts, but the rear is the greatest option, the third option. It has a front lip, no sides. It has the rear, and it also has a high level wing. It has no front split. No. It has a front splitter, no side skirts. It has the highest level rear end, and it has a high wing with 20 end plates. But I don't know what's going on. No idea what's going on.